15 new cheap data codes are currently out. Now I've made it upon myself that in this video, I'm going to share every single cheap data network in this video, ranging from MTN, Airtel, Glo, and even 9mobile. Now there is no form of arrangement on which network I'm going to be calling first. I might call MTN at any point in time, and I might call Glo or even Airtel at any point in time. But before I get started, here are some of the tariff plan I'm currently using on my SIM cards. On my MTN tariff plan, I'm currently on the MTN tariff plan, the MTN Pulse. On my Airtel tariff plan, I'm currently on the Airtel tariff plan, the Airtel Freedom plan. Under my Glo tariff plan, I'm currently on the Glo tariff plan, the Glo Talk On. And on my 9mobile, I'm currently on the 9mobile tariff plan, the More Life Complete. Now I just wanted to share the tariff plan I'm currently using so that way you know the tariff plan that I'm currently on that is giving me the flexibility of enjoying some of this cheap data codes. But just a full disclaimer, switching to my current tariff plan might not be what makes your own SIM card eligible for some of this cheap data code, but however you can try to switch and know if it's what makes your own SIM card eligible. Now, let's get into the cheap data aspect. Now, moving on to the first cheap data code, I call this method you being smart on a budget. The code to dial is *121 *311#. Now, the amazing thing about this one is for the fact that this one gives you flexibility in the aspect of you use 200 naira to get 800 MB, which the validity period is for 30 days, right? Now, using my calculation method, let's say you do the same process 5 times. It means that you get 4 gig of data just for 1000 naira, which the validity period is for 30 days, right? And let's say now you take this up a notch, right? Now you do the same process with 2000 naira. It means that you get 8 gig of data, which the validity period is for 30 days, right? This is a no-brainer, trust me. Now, moving on to the next cheap data code. The code to dial is *312 *100#. Now, this one also gives you the flexibility of using 200 naira to get 1 gig of data, which the validity period is for 30 days, right? Now, I'm actually sharing this just because in case the first one I shared did not work for you, which is the 200 naira for 800 MB did not work for you, then this one will definitely work for you, right? Now, let's say you use my calculation method and get the same data to do this process 5 times. That means you're buying the same 200 naira for 5 times. It means that you get 5 gig of data for just 1000 naira, right? Which the validity period is for 30 days, right? Now, let's say your budget for a month for data in terms of buying of data is 2000 naira. Right? It means that using this process, you get 10 gig of data just for 2000 naira, which the validity period is still for 30 days. Now, on a normal route for buying data in MTN, they are selling 10 gig of data for 4500. But with this, you have the flexibility of getting it for 2000 naira, which the validity is still for 30 days. Please, if at this point you're watching this video and you've not subscribed to the channel or you've not liked this video, please, the least favor you can do to me is to like this video and to subscribe to the channel. Please do me that favor. To you, this thing is actually nothing, but to us creators, it's actually a milestone. Please give this video a thumbs up. It's actually nothing to you, right? But to me, it's a way of you showing appreciation, right? Please, let's move on to the next one. Please, just for clarity purpose, the 2 codes I called are for MTN users, right? Just for clarity purpose. Now, moving on to Airtel, MTN users, calm down. I still have a lot of codes for you guys, right? But let's talk about Airtel just for a little bit. Now, for Airtel users, I call this method the Airtel combo, right? I'm giving this things name, but trust me, you're going to see why I'm giving them this name, right? I call this method the Airtel combo, right? Now, the amazing thing about this is that when you dial this code, they are going to show you 2 options. The first option is the 4000 naira for 15 gig, right? And the second option is the 7500 naira for 40 gig. This is on a cheap data, trust me, and this data is for 30 days. Now, let's say you're using the normal route to buy data on Airtel. It means that they are going to charge you 10,000 naira gig of data for just 4,000 naira. Meanwhile, using this method or using this code, you get it for 15 gig. Now, on the 7,000 Naira Airtel route, when you're getting a data 30 days plan for 7,500 Naira, they gives you just 25 gig for 30 days. But using this route, you get 40 gig for that same 7,500 Naira. Please, like I said, the one favor you can do to me is to like this video and subscribe, right? So if you're getting value from it, that's the least you could do to me. Please just like the video and subscribe to the channel, because more data codes are going to be out soon. Now, moving on to the next code. This one is for MTN users. Now, the code to dial is *121*2#, right? Now, when you dial this code, they are going to show you two options. The first option is 2.25 gig for 1,000 Naira, and the second option is 14 gig for 3,500 Naira, and these are valid for 30 days, right? But for me, I'm more concerned about the 14 gig for 3,500 Naira, right? Now, let's say you're buying data on a normal MTN monthly plan, right? For 30 days monthly plan. You're going to be giving just 9 gig of data for this same 3,500 Naira, right? But when you're using this code, you get it at a more better data deal, right? This is just like a no-brainer, right? Now, moving on to the next data code. This one is also for MTN users, right? Now, I call this one the emergency plan, right? I don't know if you've ever been in a situation whereby you run out of data on your mobile phone, right? And you want to get data from your mobile app in your bank app, right? And you need data to actually access your mobile app, right? And there's no one around you to hotspot you or to just give you a little data to log onto your mobile app to purchase data. Now, this particular data code actually solves that problem, right? This is what I usually use whenever I run out of data and nobody close to me to actually tap hotspot from, right? So I usually use this one to do that for my case, right? And this one is like, just with 20 Naira, you get 150 MB that can allow you to just log on to the mobile app, right? This 150 MB is valid for 1 week, right? But I'm not concerned about the validation of it. I'm just concerned with it gives you the flexibility of using 20 Naira to log on to your mobile app, right? So this actually solves those problems when it comes to emergency problem. Maybe you were doing like a payment online and you run out of data, right? And you don't even have airtime on your mobile phone, or you just have about 30 Naira. So with 20 Naira, you can actually use it to get 150 MB for 1 week. The code to dial is *312*86#, right? When you dial this code, they are going to tell you use 75 MB plus 75 MB, which is 150 MB, which is valid for 1 week, right? Now, this gives you that opportunity of logging into your mobile app to get the data or to get the airtime you required before now buying your actual data, right? That's why I said this one is just like an emergency plan, right? Now, moving on to the next data code. This one is also for MTN users, right? The code to dial is *312*65*3#, right? Now, when you dial this code, you're going to see that it gives you the flexibility of using 1,000 Naira to get 4 gig of data, which the validity period is for 30 days, right? Now, usually when I'm recommending this code, this particular one, I usually recommend it to students who are in school, right? Because trust me, if you're a student in school, you're looking for something on a cheap aspect but still functional, right? And trust me, if you're a student, you just want to know lecture updates in school, and this can actually help you in solving those problems. So if you're a student, this can actually go a long way for you if you know how to manage data. Like, you get 4 gig of data just for 1,000 Naira, right? And that's the amazing thing about this one. This one also is valid for 30 days period, right? And this is for MTN users. Now, for the next code to dial, I call this code the welcome package, right? And this one is amazing because this works for all network, right? They work for Glo, it works for MTN, 9Mobile, and even Airtel, right? Now, for the MTN users, you're being given 50 gig of data, right? And for Airtel is 45 gig of data, and for Glo is 100 gig of data, right? In some case, they will give you 75 gig of data, and in some case, they will give you 100 gig of data for Glo users, and for 9 Mobile you're being given 40 gig of data for this welcome package, right? And for this data you actually don't need to pay a dime for any of this data. Right now, to access this data, all you just have to do is to log on to your mobile app. If you're an MTN user, download my MTN NG and install the app, register with your MTN SIM card, and you're going to be getting 50 gig as your welcome package, right? And if you're a Glo user, download my Glo Cafe app on your Play Store, install it, register it with your Glo SIM, and you're going to be getting 100 gig of data. In some case, you're going to be getting 75 gig of data. It depends on some SIM card and some little policy you have to do, but these are just things you have to do to get those data. You don't need to pay for anything, just install the app. If you're an Airtel user, download the Airtel app. If you're a 9 Mobile user, download the 9 Mobile app and install this app. Register it with your SIM card, those SIM card you're currently using for those networks, and you're going to be given this welcome bonus. But the catch to this is that this actually lasts you for 1 day, right? So when I'm advising people to do this, I usually advise them to do it by around 12 a.m. so that I can take you to another 12 a.m. because if you should do this, if you should do the registration by around, let's say, 4 p.m. in the evening, once you get to 12 a.m. it expires, right? So when I'm advising people to do this, I advise them to do it by 12 a.m. register, download the app, then register it by 12 a.m. so that it can take you to another 12 a.m. before it expires, right? So that's it for this cheap data code. I know I said I'm going to be sharing 15 cheap data code, but to be honest, at this point I'm really tired. Honestly, I filmed 2 YouTube videos today, and this is currently like 5:45 a.m. and to be honest, I'm so exhausted, but I'm still going to share the remaining cheap data code I was not able to share. So I do not know how many code I was able to share. I'm going to go through my data codes I have and check the data remaining. I'm going to put them on the screen for you to now actually dial those code on your SIM card and actually get those cheap data bundles. I'm going to leave the codes over here for you guys to actually dial them on your phone, right? Mostly the one remaining for me to call is just 9 Mobile and Glo, but I'm going to leave them on the screen for you guys to actually see the code and actually try them on your own. Trust me, these are cheap data. I still have a lot of codes that I still want to share with you guys, but because of time, and to be honest, at this point I'm exhausted, I'm not even going to lie. You might be noticing it on the video already, but I pray you don't notice it. So that's where I'm going to stop in this video. Please, just in case you got value from this video, like I said, the one way you can support what I do here on YouTube is by liking this video as well as subscribing to the channel. That is the least you could do for me. Please just like the video as well as subscribe to the channel. I'm going to share more data code for you guys in an upcoming video, so just in case you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel and you're going to see those code as the video comes out. I'll see you guys in my next one. Till then, make sure you stay blessed and stay fabulous. Please, like I said, do me the favor, like the video. That's the least you can do for me, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. To be honest, I'm tired. I will not lie. I filmed 2 YouTube videos this evening, so I'm really tired. So I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys for now.